Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. For those of you that are new here, welcome. My name is Celine. So in today's video, I want to talk a bit about shadow work. What is it and how can we go about achieving it? So basically shadow work is the aspects of ourselves that we've learned to neglect over the years. We may feel shame about these parts of ourselves. We could feel guilty for some reason, or they could just be traumas, obviously, that we have to work through. That's first and foremost. But they can also be toxic traits as well that we've picked up over the years, perhaps from having narcissistic parents, and we weren't aware of these toxic things. So as we move along through our healing journey, and the more we go into this shadow aspect of ourselves, we'll start to kind of learn to recognize those things. And the more we learn about the spiritual concepts as well, and things that are toxic, and there might be things you weren't aware of, there can be things you're doing subconsciously, that kind of forms a pattern throughout your life. It can be self-sabotage kind of playing out. So you'll kind of see how that work applies to you as you move through on your path. So it's important as well to recognise these toxic traits, because we don't always realise we have them. And, if you're wanting to really go into that shadow and help heal it and integrate it, it's important to look at those aspects too. And I don't think this really gets said enough in the spiritual community, certainly not that I've heard of. And I do see a lot of people that kind of haven't gone into that part of the shadow, and they might claim to be healed, or working as a spiritual guru, so to speak, and guru, and I can see different parts of their shadow playing out that they clearly haven't worked on. You've probably seen it a lot. There'll be a lot of infighting that goes on in the end, and yeah, it's just a recipe for disaster, really. So that is in a nutshell what shadow work is. So the ways to go about it, as I say, it's recognising these toxic traits, and then it's changing that belief for a new one. Or, well, yeah, it's a subconscious belief at the end of the day, even if you're not consciously aware. So once you become aware of that, you obviously go with the opposite. So it could be jealousy. So jealousy is quite a big one. You might not realise you're that jealous of people, but if you kind of look back and reflect and observe all the times maybe that someone has triggered a bit of jealousy in you, it might not be really bad like most people would react to it, but it'll be there subtly. So it's about recognising things like that. So then obviously you want to make a new belief in your head then that, that you're not going to be jealous of people. You've got nothing to be jealous of. It's all about focusing on us and creating the lives that we want to do, not be looking and being jealous of other people, because that's just going to get us nowhere. It'll just keep us stuck. Same with envy and things like that. So you can look for these little things, and you're going to switch that up. Once you're recognising it, you're putting in that new belief, because we've always got to replace a negative with a positive. So you're going to replace that and do that way. And then you want to work on losing any blame, shame or guilt. So there may have been things that you've done in the past that maybe you were upset at the time. Hurt people do hurt people, unfortunately. And it's about recognising and acknowledging those things as well, and not beating yourself up for it. So a favourite phrase I like to say for that one, if I've recognised anything and I'm trying to let go of the blame, shame and guilt, is I'm not to blame for something that happened before I was consciously aware of it. So that kind of helps you draw that line in the sand and bring forgiveness for yourself. If you're in a position to, or it's appropriate to, you can also apologise to the other person. If not, you can just send them love and light within your heart space. But ultimately that forgiveness is for you, so you can keep moving forward and ascending on your journey, especially if you're here for a purpose, a spiritual purpose. These are all the processes we need to go through, and it starts with us first. So I hope that kind of makes sense. If you've got any questions, you can drop them in the comments anywhere where you're watching this video. We do have a podcast starting on Thursday, the Raw Truth podcast. This will be with my soul brother Stephen. We'll be talking about basically the S show, because I'm not allowed to swear on YouTube anymore. We'll get a strike. So yeah, the bleep bleep show we'll be talking about. And just basically everything that's going on at present. That will be live on YouTube. I will advertise it beforehand, before we go live. It will be 7 o'clock GMT on Thursday. So that'll be roughly around 2 p.m. EST if you're watching in America. But as I say, I will get that up and advertised. I do still have slots open on my 3-month transformational program, where we do work through the shadow together and all those aspects. We work on your spiritual development and getting you into alignment to then start living your soul purpose in love, joy and abundance, because that's what we all want. So I will leave it there. As I say, I hope everyone is well. I'm feeling much better now after that cyclone of a month of April. Like, I really do not know what was going on there, what with eclipses and Mercury retrogrades. Yeah, that was a bit of a doozy. Finally back on the other side though, and raring to go. Think I've grown quite a bit too over that period. It's been quite a transformational time. So I will see you all soon. Take care.